Here are 5 ways Satan can gain a foothold in your life without you even noticing it. Number 1, Satan secretly attacks us through our relationship with other humans. Balaam was an evil prophet who sought to do wrong and bring the Israelites down. Notice what it says in Numbers 31. Have you allowed all the women to live? He asked them. They were the ones who followed Balaam's advice and enticed the Israelites to be unfaithful to the Lord in the Peor incident, so that a plague struck the Lord's people. Just as Balaam tempted the Israelites with unholy relationships, so too will Satan seek to gain a foothold in our lives by tempting us with unholy relationships. As Christians, we certainly shouldn't see unbelievers as our enemy. Rather, we should see them as a vessel that can be used by our real enemy. Number 2, Satan secretly attacks us through tempting us to get burned out through doing good things. Notice that in Numbers 12 verse 3, it says that Moses was the most humble man in all the earth. But pride actually led to his downfall when God said to speak to the rock to produce water for the people, but Moses struck the rock twice, drawing attention to himself. In Numbers 20 verse 10, Moses said, "Hear now, you rebels, shall we bring water for you out of this rock?" Again, he referred to himself bringing water from the rock rather than God. This was out of character for Moses, and we can infer that his anger towards the people is what drove him to disobey the Lord. For in Psalms 106, 32 through 33, it states the people made Moses' spirit bitter and he spoke rashly with his lips. Satan uses the same tactic on all of us. He tries to wear us out by getting us to do good things without going back to the best thing, which is God himself. Number 3, Satan secretly attacks us by tempting us to replace our relationship with Jesus with religion. When the human mind thinks about Satan and spiritual warfare, oftentimes we imagine cults or people chanting around a fire or some really demonic, strong possession of someone. But realistically, what most often happens is that Satan attacks with camouflage on, and religion is often the best camouflage Satan can find. So often we feel like a religious activity is something of God because it has some truth in it, but it's mixed with lies as well. Colossians 2:23 explains, "These indeed have an appearance of wisdom in promoting self-made religion and asceticism and severity to the body, but they are of no value in stopping the indulgence of the flesh." Number 4, Satan secretly attacks us through cultural norms that contradict God's commands. In human thinking, we often rationalize normal as right. In other words, we have a real herd mentality. If a lot of people are going in a certain direction, something in us says that's the right direction. Even in marketing, there's something called social proof. And we're always looking for what other people are doing. So if a lot of people are buying a certain product or leaving a lot of positive reviews, we're much more likely to buy that product. This is actually what led Barnabas and Peter astray when Paul corrected them in Galatians 2. In verses 11 through 14, Paul states that Peter was eating with the Gentiles, but then when some Jews came, Peter separated himself and would not eat with the Gentiles anymore, and then the rest of the Jews acted hypocritically along with them, so that even Barnabas was led astray by their hypocrisy. In Galatians 2:15 through 21, Paul explains that their actions were not in line with the gospel because they were living according to the law and not by faith. Satan will try to play on this need in us to follow the herd. We have to remember normal doesn't always equal right, and the majority doesn't get to decide what's ethical. So rather than following the crowd, which Satan wants us to follow, we have to follow Scripture above all else. And number 5, Satan secretly attacks through pride. Pride is obvious to everyone except the prideful person. Arrogance is annoying to everyone except the person who is being arrogant. Pride blinds us to pride, and that's why Satan loves it so much. Notice in James 4, 6 through 10, and 1 Peter 5, 6 through 11, there's a common theme where we're told that humility is how we resist the devil and follow God, and pride is how we follow the devil and resist God. Therefore, to fight the enemy and to not let him get a stronghold in your life without even noticing it, we have to submit to God, relying on His grace, resisting the devil, because then he will flee from us. Here's another related video if you want to keep learning with me, and I'd love for you to subscribe to the channel so you and I can stay in touch every time I post a new video. I'm Mark from ApplyGodsWord.com, and until next time, God bless.